1992 came along, and you released Never Been Rocked Enough, which also featured your duet with Bonnie Raitt.
Right.
But also featured guest appearances from Tom Petty and Melissa Etheridge, and
right.
That was a great album there. And any memorable story that came from recording that album? Or?
Well, we had a lot of fun. You know, it was a fun record to make. It started out really shaky, but I think it came off really good. The record company couldn't understand what I was trying to do. And they were worried about it, but by the time I got finished with it, they liked it.
I'm sure they did. It's once again a great album, just like everything you've ever recorded. It's great and fantastic, and I'm a huge fan. And well, now later that year, you hit the country charts with another duet. This time with Miss Tanya Tucker with "Tell Me About It."
Yeah.
Which we heard just a few minutes ago, and that went right to number 4 on the country charts.
Yep.
You want to tell us a little bit about that song and what it was like to record with Tanya?
Well, there's hardly any way to explain what it's like to record with Tanya, except that it's a lot of fun and expect anything.
I bet.
Her producer called me and said that he'd found a song that he thought Tanya and I could really do well together. And so we set a date and we went down to the studio together and just did it.
And that was a huge, huge hit, and it sounds great just how you both come in there at the trading off and with the harmony vocals, and just a real classy recording.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And hey, do you mind if we skip to 1997?
Let's go.
With one of my favorite albums of all time, One of the Fortunate Few.
Yeah.
You recorded that, and it featured an array of guest stars, including Vince Gill, Patty Loveless, Lyle Lovett, Pam Tillis, B.B. King, Mavis Staples, and John Prine, and that was just that album sticks out in my mind as one of your greatest also.
It was a good record. It was a lot of fun to make. That was the first record I made after not having made record for some time. And had a lot of hopes on that one, and we did a lot of good things on it.
It received wonderful reviews.
Yeah, it did get great reviews.
And even still, from time to time, they show the music video of you and Vince Gill singing "Sending Me Angels."
Yeah.
And what was it like to record that video?
Well, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We shot that in about 3 days, and it was a lot of fun to do.
And I'm sure, well, any music video would be fun, but that song was, the video was very theatrical and very moving, and we had
a lot of fun. Everybody down at the river getting baptized and stuff, you know.
And, and then here comes along 2001, and on the New West label, which you're still recording for now, right?
Right.
Out of Austin, Texas, you released another acclaimed album, Nothing Personal.
Right.
And this one proved to be one of your most popular recordings of your career.
Well, this one was the first record I did without a record company. I did that record before I ever made a deal with New West. I was tired of doing it with record companies because you're so easily expendable. And so I put my own money into making that record and made the best deal of my life with New West Records, and we won a Grammy for it.
You certainly did, this time for Best Contemporary Blues Album.
Right.
And that's a great album also. And then Cost of Living came along in 2005, also on New West Records.
Right.
And you had a hand in writing 12 out of the 13 tracks.
Right.
On that album. And I believe that's your recentest album so far, right?
Yes, it is.
And this won you your third Grammy this time. Right. Once again for Best Contemporary Blues Album. So at this point, you have 3 Grammys under your belt. I can't wait to hear what's going to come up next.
Well, I can't either.
This album was recorded in Nashville and
right.
with your touring band and some other prominent musicians as Al Anderson of NRBQ,
right.
known around here from Connecticut, and Becca Bramlett, who She tours with you sometimes, doesn't she?
On occasion, she does, yes.
I remember not too long ago, I think it was back in December, I saw you both on RFD TV on the Don Imus program, singing together, and it's always great to see you and hear you on Don's program. And
it's always fun to do. Don's been a good friend for a long time.
Now, you've known him since the 70s, haven't you?
Yep.
And how did you first meet Mr. Imus?
He came to a show I did in New York, and we just kind of became friends. You know, it was like talking to somebody I've known my whole life.
Sure.
And it just became a friendship that still goes on.
So he became a fan way back then in the 70s. I'm sure, well, he had probably been a fan before that.
Well, he was a big fan when I met him, and I met him in the 70s, and he was already a big fan.
And, well, you mind if I ask what it's like to appear on his program? It's such an iconic show.
Well, Don, if you know anything about his show, you know what he's like. And if you don't, well, he's just a real curmudgeon. But he speaks the truth generally.
Sure.
And he's got a large fan base, and it's always a lot of fun to go do that show.
And certainly we're glad that he's back on the air on WABC, and we can get him up here in New England once again.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
But along with Imus in the Morning and Saturday Night Live, you've appeared on such well-known shows as Austin City Limits frequently, and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Late Night with David Letterman, and then with Conan O'Brien. What was probably the most memorable television appearance of your career? I mean, other than Saturday Night Live, which I'm sure was...
I don't know. I think the most fun I've had and the best memories are from doing Don's show.
Oh, sure, with all the great gang, Charles McCord.
Well, and he just really makes you feel special, you know. He just goes out of his way to see that we get everything we need, and it's you know, it feels good when somebody does that for you.
And you can really tell that he is an intense fan, because as soon as you're done singing a song, he'll say, "Oh, that's so good, it's stupid." The great Delbert McClinton from the Victim of Life Circumstances album. 2 More Bottles of Wine. I mean, he knows everything.
Oh, I know, he does.
And, well, Delbert, I really appreciate you being here on my radio program, taking...
Well, I really enjoyed it. It was nice of you to ask
time.
me.
Well, thank you. I just want to ask you one more quick question.
Okay.
Do you know the next time you'll be on Mr. Imus's show?
I don't know, but if you'll keep an eye on Delbert.com, you'll find out.
I will, and hopefully you'll be up here in the New England area sometime soon.
I'm looking forward to it. And
once again, thank you very much. You're a true legend. The Grammy Award-winning Delbert McClinton, and it's just a great honor. Huge fan, and I can't wait to see what comes out next.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, that was the great Delbert McClinton here with me on Traditional Country 90.5 FM, WPEA. I'm Paul Joyce, and right now, let's go to Delbert's